Okay, hey y'all. I'm gonna give y'all like a part two on how I got into the game and like whatnot, cause y'all wanted me to elaborate a little bit more. I'm gonna do a story time later on like the Fed case, but that's like probably gonna have a lot of parts to it, cause yeah. So, long story short, my stories are never short, by the way. we so after I got like around her and shit, we started posting up together. It was me and her, and then there was another dude that she was like dating. Now, mind you, when like all the shit hit the fan with the Fed case, he was not involved, which I found odd. So, boom, we had a townhouse. His sister, basically was like co-leasing it to us. We was paying the rent, you know what I'm saying? We was buying furniture, everything. Like, we was living in there, she was 17, I was 15. So we was living, like, we were going shopping every day. We're eating good, smoking good. We're just like living a life at this young age. By the way, I'm not glorifying this. Like, I don't, it's bad. So, this went on for like a month. We're making money. Just, I'm thinking it's just me and my homegirl just making some money, getting some money. So, boom, everything had transpired with the Fed case. I ended up getting set up by the literal FBI. And so I ended up going to juvenile detention for 2 years. I was in juvenile detention for a year, and then they sent me to like a girls' placement, whatever you want to call it. So then after I got out, this time I'm 17. So I went and got a job at Wendy's. I worked there for probably like, I don't know, close to a year maybe. And my check like wasn't that much, honestly, because I'm also going to school. Now, mind you, my school, I did not graduate from high school. I actually went back and got my GED. But the thing is, I furthered my education while I was locked up. Like, I have knowledge in psychology and sociology. When I was in placement, when I was in juvenile detention, actually, I got credits because I had exceeded high school credits at that point. So when I went to school, there was like, oh, these transcripts aren't official because they didn't come from a school, which was BS because it did. Like, it came from a school district. So anyways, I just figured at this point, like, I needed some money. I had been talking to this dude in Atlanta. He's now in prison also as well. And he was sending me shoes and clothes and money this whole time, basically grooming me. So, boom, now I'm like, well, I gotta go. Like, I'm broke. I don't have no money. At this point, I was just already hooked on fast money. So I had him book me a ticket. Okay, I come to Atlanta. I get down here. It was just a weird situation with him. I was probably around him like a week. I met this girl at one of the rooms we was at. Me and her ended up being like good friends for like 3 years. Some weird shit happened. So anyways, yeah, so that's what had like started it back up, because I was locked up for 2 years. So I wasn't consecutively in the game. Like, there was a gap. But as soon as I could put my feet back in the water, I did. Yeah. So that's like where that's kind of going to end. But the Fed case is something else, y'all. Like, I don't know. That's a big story. I mean, there's like there's little news articles on there. So, all right.
Is the risk worth the reward? That is the question. What's the reward? The reward is you get to make easy, fast, big money if you really know how to hustle. I mean, it's already going to be easy. It's already going to be fast. But it depends on your hustle, whether or not it be big money or little money. Either way it goes, it's more than you will be making on a regular 9-to-5 job. But is the risk worth the reward? When I hear her story, and she says she's not glamorizing it, and it doesn't sound like she is, you hear all the risk, the gambles and chances you are taking with your life. Is it really worth the reward of getting an easy, fast, quick, big money? You know, you just kind of ruin your life. You're meeting shady people. You heard her say several times she met this guy. It wound up being weird. She met this girl. It wound up, they kicked it for 3 years. They was good friends for 3 years. They're no longer friends anymore. That you just meet a bunch of sketchy, seedy, weird, unloyal, untrustworthy, unfaithful people. Is the risk worth the reward? Is the risk worth the reward? I should make this the title of the video. Is the risk worth the reward? You hear her story, and she did a quick deep dive into her life story. I'm pretty sure it's longer than that, but she didn't want to make the video too long. I'm pretty sure it's way more to it than that. You know, juvenile arrests, FBI's, this and that. You know, she says but I do give her credit for one thing. She tried. She did try to get a normal, regular, everyday job. She said she worked at Wendy's. Her check wasn't that much because she was going to Wendy's. She was working Wendy's and going to school at the same time. And then she said some people, whoever it was, said her school papers was fake and fake. It just wasn't legit. So she had issues with that. So she tried to do things the right way. She tried to live life the right way. So she said, man, you know what? Forget it. Look, I'm about to go back to the streets. And then next thing you know, she wound up getting in trouble. I feel if she would have stayed on that path of what she was doing, trying to live life the right way, doing the schooling thing, Wendy's, regardless of the issues that she ran across with the people saying the papers wasn't right or whatever, as she said was BS. I think there would have been a way she could have gotten that straight with with patience and time. You know, if it wasn't right, well, go a route to get it right. If it was right, if it wasn't right, then make it right. Go, it was going to take time and patience and, maybe your nerve probably would have gotten wrecked or whatever, but, you would have eventually got on the right track in life and not be on the wrong track in life. If she would have just kept on trying to do it the right way. But she was trying to do it the right way. She ran across obstacles and she said, forget it. I'm going back to doing it the wrong way. And that was the outcome. Is the risk worth the reward? To anybody who's thinking about being in a lifestyle, they should really sit down and look at this video. They should really sit down and look at this video. Even the ones that's in it already, you have your good days and your bad days like anything else, like any other job, profession, occupation, career. You have your good days and your bad days. Please don't let some of these girls glamorize it so much where you thinking every day is just a good day. Because some of them do glamorize it just that much. You're just making money, easy money, fast money, and everything is just up from there. No. Absolutely not. That's the dream that they sell you. That's the dream that some pimps would even sell you. But no, absolutely not. It's not just making money from there and just living life. It's just easy, fast, quick, big money. And you're living life to the finest of things and the best of your, no. They have good days and they have bad days, like anything else. And in this lifestyle, is more bad days than good days. It's more depressing days than undepressing days. That's the reality of this lifestyle. Look, she gave her story on how she became a 304. This was an educational video. I'm glad I started this channel because it really gives you a deep dive into these women lifestyles. Not just, it's sometimes it can be good, but hey, sometimes it can be bad too. Smash the like button. Get down in those comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to check out my main channel, No Judge Zone, New Orleans Street Interview, where I interview women like her. I may even just interview her one day. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe over there at No Judge Zone, New Orleans Street Interview. And don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe on this channel at 304 Dating. This is 304 Sweet Daddy. And I'm gone. Like what water?